because like I said, Penelope's love story feels very rushed. Like it's so predictable. We already know what's gonna happen. There's too many storylines. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Darian, aka LOL not Darian. Let's start that over. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darian. No. Okay, Bales. Look, mommy's filming. You can't get in the way. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Darian, aka LOL not Darian, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up, and please comment down below how you like this video. So, I am going to try and speed through this video because I'm recording on my phone and I'm not really sure how much storage space I have. I just finished the first part of Bridgerton season 3 that was released. Stop! That was released, and I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really feeling it. And here's why. So number one, I feel like there's too much going on in the show right now. There's too many love storylines. Sorry, Bailey is like getting on my damn nerves. That's what she's doing. And maybe I never really noticed it because it was like, maybe they always had a lot going on in the show and I never really noticed it because the main storyline was so good. But I feel like this storyline for this season is so rushed. Like, I feel like we don't get enough of the main storyline because there's so many other things going on that by the time there's something going on with Penelope and we're starting to get into the things, we switch to the next scene where it's Francesca, which I am actually enjoying Francesca's love story a lot more than Penelope's love story this season. And that should not be the case because she's not the lead of this season. It's not her season, you know what I mean? But I'm enjoying her scene a lot more, or her story a lot more than Penelope's. Because like I said, Penelope's love story feels very rushed. It was just like, boom, Colin says he'll help her. Boom, everybody finds out that Colin's helping her. Boom, they kiss for some odd fucking reason because she's, you know, begging him to kiss her. Boom, he has a sex dream about them. Boom, she's about to get proposed to and he pops up and tells her that he loves her. And I feel like the longest scene that they've had together so far, the longest scene she's had in this entire season so far, is the scene of them in the carriage and her getting fingered. Like, like, can we be serious for a second? Can we actually get, okay, Bales. Can we actually get a little bit of Penelope? You know what I mean? And so, I don't know. I just feel like this season for her story is very, very, very rushed. And on top of that, I think another reason why I'm not really enjoying it is because it's expected. Like, it's so predictable. We already know what's going to happen in the love story. We already know who she's going to end up with. We already know. You know what I mean? And the first season was so good because it really showed what it's like to just kind of be married off. You know what I mean? And them not really like each other and them having to overcome that wall in their intimacy. You know what I mean? The second season, it was so good because it was like an enemies to lovers storyline. But this one, it is just so fucking predictable. And I feel like it would have been even just the smallest bit better for Penelope's storyline if she did end up getting engaged to the other guy. Fuck, I forgot his name. Bedline or something like that. Whatever the fuck his name is. If she ended up getting proposed to him, like actually not proposed, if she ended up getting like actually engaged with him and they were just waiting like on the wedding and that's when Colin stepped in, or, you know, the night before the wedding or something. But like the fact that she didn't even get that much with with the other guy before Colin came in, like it was just, it felt, see how I'm calling him the other guy, because she didn't have enough fucking scenes with him, and it's just like, yeah, there's too many storylines in the season this season. There's, like I said, Francesca's storyline. There is Eloise's storyline with her newfound friendship with Cressida. There's not Anthony's storyline. I think Benedict, that's that man's name. Benedict, or whatever the fuck his name is, the second son, and his storyline. Then you got Mama Bridgerton and her, you know, flirting with Lady Danbury's older brother. Then you got who, like, what else? There's so much shit. Then you got Cressida trying not to, you know, not find a husband this season, trying to hurry up and find a husband before her dad marries her off. Then you got the sisters trying to get pregnant, and it's just like there's so much, to the point that you can't even really focus on what is going on with Penelope, because as soon as you start getting interested in Penelope, boom, we talking about the sisters getting pregnant again. Like, who cares? Who cares? I don't know. It's just so like, and I feel like they were spending entirely too much time talking about things that didn't matter. Like, it could just be like little flashes, but it didn't have to be its own story. And I think that's where it's gotten fucked up. I don't know. And then it's also like, you don't even get to see like the whole process of Colin falling in love with Penelope. Like, they literally went from friends to him randomly kissing her because she's just like, please, please, please. Like, girl, stand the fuck up. Stand up. Why are you begging this man to kiss you? She's over here begging him, please, please, just kiss. I've never been kissed. So he kisses her. And the next thing you know, he's having a sex dream about her. Like, this season is just so unserious. It is just so unserious, and it's so boring. It is so boring. Sorry if I'm ashy. I just got done working out. So yeah, I worked the lotion off my body anyway. But yeah, and maybe like they moved it this fast because the next part of the season is going to be a lot more interesting and a lot more well thought out, but I doubt it, because it was all like made and filmed and written in the same time. So, and I think this also goes to show just how detrimental the 8-episode, 10-episode season run really is to a storyline and to a show, because I honestly would not have minded all of these different storylines if the season was a lot longer than what it is. Because the season is only limited to 8, maybe 10 episodes at most, even them being an hour, sometimes an hour and a half long if you get to like the finale or whatever, it's still not enough for everything that they have going on in the show, because they just have to rush it. They have to rush everything because they want to make sure that everything is wrapped up with a nice little bow at the end, except for maybe one storyline. That storyline last season was Eloise and Penelope falling out, and then Penelope's family finding out that they're fucking broke. Like, that was just, it was a fucking mess, you know? Like, I really want TV to get out of this phase of not being able to do regular season runs, you know what I mean? Especially because right now these production companies are making more money than fucking ever. More money than ever. And it's like, the least you could do is pump that money into the shows that are making you money and give them a proper season. Give them a proper season run. Why are we still on we are almost a decade into this fucking 8-episode bullshit. Like, come on now. Can we go back to the old days when shows were like 20 something seasons? That's why I love Abbott Elementary, because they do that. And it's like, I appreciate it, but it's also just like, why do we only get that with a comedy, with a sitcom? You know what I mean? Like, can we also get that with the serious shows? I think the only show that, the other only show that does that that's serious is fucking Grey's Anatomy. And I'm not even gonna get into Grey's Anatomy, but because Grey's Anatomy should have been ended, first of all. But anyway, I don't know. And then like also because Grey's Anatomy is like what it is, and it's produced by Shonda, I know that they have what it takes to make Bridgerton longer. They just don't want to, and it's infuriating because it's just like you're rushing it. And the whole point of a romance is that it should not be rushed. This should always be like a slow burn. And the only way to properly do a slow burn and a show that only does like 8 to 10 episodes a season is by giving it more screen time. With all of these other storylines that they have going on, it doesn't get enough screen time. So then it just looks like, oh, they're in love for some reason. Oh, they kissed for some reason. Oh, they're no longer best friends for some reason. Oh. And it's just like, what, like, how did we get here? How did we go from Penelope being in love with him secretly to now they're engaged after him finger blasting her in the back of a fucking carriage? Like, it's just, it is so unserious. It is so unserious. It is so unserious. I just can't. But yeah, and then also, like I said, I really appreciate Francesca's storyline, mainly because I feel like entirely too often whenever a female, like whenever a woman in a show does not want to be wedded or does not want to have a husband or something, in these older TV shows, it's all, or like, you know, these time period TV shows, it's always like, you know, she's a strong feminist, blah blah blah. You know the drift. Like, oh, I just want to focus on studying. Like, I don't really care for men. Why would I tie myself down? Blah blah blah. Like, why would I want to sacrifice myself to that tradition? Blah blah. You know, you already know. You know the trope, and it gets exhausting. I'm not gonna lie, it gets really exhausting because it's like, we get it. How many more of these like tropes do we have to see before you finally realize that we fucking get it? You know what I mean? So Francesca's aversion to marriage, or rather her indifference to marriage, was so refreshing because it wasn't, you know, oh, I'm you know, power to women, you know, and yeah, it's not like, you know, power to women. Oh, I'm a feminist. Why would I do this? Why would I do that? Like, and that's not me saying like because I'm anti-feminist. It's just, it is a tired ass trope. And so I love that hers was more so just like, I don't really care. Like, I don't have any feelings towards men. I've never felt anything towards a man. Like, it was giving, she literally was just the smart, quiet girl that just always wanted to play the piano and just be happy. You know what I mean? So that's why I really liked her storyline, because she was so indifferent to it all, and her mom was so worried about her finding love. And so when she did finally find love, Violet, that's the mama name, when she finally found love, like with that guy, it was just so adorable. It was so adorable, especially because like she was getting so overwhelmed with men just like coming up to her and talking to her. So for her to find a man who enjoyed the silence as much as she did, and then he went above and beyond and like went and got the music sheet for her, and oh, it was just so like and like that's what I like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're giving more of a slow burn than Penelope and Colin. And maybe it's also because the producers and the writers expected Colin and Penelope's slow burn to be attributed to the fact that we have been seeing them since the very first season, and their like flirtation ship since the very first season or whatever the fuck. And so that would be considered the slow burn. But with a TV show like Bridgerton, where there's 2 years in between each season, 3 years between each season, you can't rely on the past seasons to be the slow burn, because a lot of times people have really forgotten about the relationship that they have, the friendship that they have, the slow burn that they've built. So you have to attribute some of it, a little bit more of it, into the season that is current. And I feel like I said, it would have been a lot better written if they made the cliffhanger not Colin and Penelope getting engaged, or, finger blasting in the back seat. I feel like it would have been better if they left it on the cliffhanger of her actually getting engaged to blonde man. I forgot what his name is. I feel like it would have been better for them to end that, like, part one of the season on her getting engaged to him and Colin missing his chance to tell her, and them just like showing them slowly get together, or him slowly, having to fight, like, I don't want to ruin this for her because she's engaged. This is what she wanted. I helped her find a husband, blah, 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 blah. But also, I really love her and I want to be selfish. And I don't think that she loves him in the second part of the season. Because now, looking at it, it's just like, well, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, what now? Like, this is what I watched it for, and now I got it in part one. And the parents aren't going to say no, obviously, because why would her mom say no? Bridgerton is they're fucking rich. Like, all her mama is worried about is fucking money. You know what I mean? So it's just like, what now? Like, I just feel so, like, empty after the first part of the season. And I'm not really, the only reason I'm going to be tuning in for part 2 of the season is because I want to see Francesca and her little love story. I don't really care to keep watching Penelope and Colin's love story because it's so predictable. They didn't even care to put in any type of twist or turns in it. Maybe the second part of the season will be a twist and turn, but it's giving it won't. It's giving like, and please understand, I'm not a hard person to please. Like, I'm the type of person, hold on. Sorry, I was talking for so long, my bathtub almost flooded. Anyway, because I'm like running my bath water while I'm doing this video. But anyway, I'm not a hard person to please at all whatsoever. Like, I am not a hard critic. I'm the type of person where, like, as long as the storyline is going exactly how I wanted it to go, or as long as it ends exactly the way I want it to end, I am happy. I am pleased. So the fact that Bridgerton is going exactly the way I want it to go, Penelope is ending up exactly with who I wanted her to end up with, even though I did like her chemistry with the other guy. That's why I also wanted to see more of them and see them flesh it out a little bit more, because I feel like if she would have said yes to his engagement, to his proposal, she would have found herself falling for him. And I feel like that would have made for a much better season. But like I said, they only get eight episodes, so they gotta hurry it up. They gotta speed up the process. And so it fucking sucks, because I feel like if they had more time, that's how it would have went, and that's how it should have went, was her accepting the proposal, them getting engaged, and her like finding herself actually falling for him. And when she's starting to let go of the idea of being with Colin, like actually let go, because she was still, you could see that she was still vying for him while Colin is now, vying for her. But I feel like it would have been a little bit better if, like, you started noticing her not looking for him anymore. Whenever she's at events with the other guy, she's present, she's with him, she's engaged in the situation, she's engaged in what they have. And then once she's like just kind of like go of it, she's just accepted that her and Colin aren't ever going to be together, that's when he jumps in. And so it just like I said, it's just rushed. And it's not good this season. It's fine, but I definitely feel like it could be better. And I don't know if they just don't want it to be better, or yeah. They probably, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not enjoying it. I'm not. I'm not. And then I'm pretty sure it's going to be a thing of like, that's probably also why they sped it up, because they didn't want that to be the focal point, because the focal point is most likely going to be um, Colin. Damn, that's a big ass spider web on that tree. Oh my God. Sorry. I feel like the likely thing, her and Colin's conflict is going to be more so him finding out that she is Lady Whistledown. And he's gonna be like, oh, you were talking all that shit about my sister, and you said that awful shit about me, and then they're going to like, everything's gonna implode, and then they're gonna fall back together, and it's gonna be what it is. If it doesn't, and they actually end up just not being together, I'll be surprised. But it's giving that they're gonna overcome it anyway, because the theme of Bridgerton is that love always wins. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's doing what it needs to do, but not what it's supposed to do. It's not hitting that spot for me, and I honestly wish that, like I said, I wish they would take off some of the other storylines. Like, oh, and then I forgot about the Muldridge and their storyline. Even though I like their storyline, it's just, yeah, I like their storyline. I feel like the focal points should have been the Muldridges, Francesca, and Penelope. I don't think they should be spending as much time as they are on Eloise. I really don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about the sisters being pregnant, having kids. I don't care. I don't care about the mama being broke. I don't care. I don't really care about Violet and her little love story. I don't care. You had your time. Go. I know that sounds so bad, but I just don't care. I don't care about Cressida. I'm indifferent to her. I don't really care. I don't care about Benedict, or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't care. And quite as it's kept, I'm really starting to not care about Penelope and Colin. It's just, yeah, I'm not. I don't really care. So those are my thoughts on the new Bridgerton season. Let me know what you guys think. Have you finished the part 1 season? What are your predictions? Who, out of the people whose storylines that you haven't seen yet, who are you wanting to see? I want to see Eloise fall in love, even though like I just said, did that whole rant about the feminist thing, and that's Eloise's trope, you know. But I really liked the last season when she was having that crush on that boy, and I feel like her season would be a lot more unorthodox. And I like unorthodox things. So I know that she would probably fall in love with somebody that didn't come from money, and it'll just be them trying to figure out how to navigate through money while she's, you know, trying to be with somebody who doesn't come from status and class. So I hope that they kind of focus more on her story next season and like actually let her fall in love. But yeah. Anyway, bye you guys.